The warnings are coming in thick and fast. The global recovery is facing a serious threat from tensions in the eurozone. And behind those worrying figures, there's an inevitable human cost, with millions of people around the world facing up to a future with more poverty, hunger and hardship.
The eurozone crisis has plunged the world's economy into the danger zone. Europe's troubles are hitting the once robust growth of the big BRIC hitters: Brazil, Russia, India and China. These are the very countries that prevented the rest of the world from sinking into a far deeper slowdown in the 2008 financial crisis.
The European issue is a global issue. It's a global crisis when you need a global cooperation, global action. I think it's become ever clear. The global economy is slowing down, and the volatility in the financial market has impact across all the different regions. So that's the reason we ask everybody to working together to build this firewall.
A firewall that could ultimately help protect those most in need. As the financial crisis takes a bite out of more economies, the number of hungry is growing. Almost 1 in 7 people are undernourished.
Today, as a result of the financial crisis, there are 1 billion people on Earth who wake up and can't even figure out how to fill this simple cup with food. This is the cup we use to reach about 100 million people who otherwise would face dire circumstances without global generosity.
According to UN statistics, undernutrition contributes to 5 million deaths of children under 5 each year in developing countries. With the spectre of the financial crisis, these statistics are all the more worrying. Developing countries have been advised to hope for the best, but plan for the worst.
The automobile industry is seen as a reliable barometer of the world's economic health. If you're feeling the pinch, buying a new car isn't necessarily top of your list of priorities. I met up with one of the celebrities of the business world, Renault-Nissan CEO Carlos Ghosn. Carlos Ghosn, thank you very much for joining us on Euronews. Let's begin with the big picture. How do you see the eurozone crisis impacting the global economy?
Oh, I think the global economy is going to be impacted, but not dramatically. I think the IMF has been reducing the perspective for next year, the global economy from 4.5 to 3.8, now to 3.3. I think this is mainly the effect of Europe on the global economy.
Renault-Nissan seems to be bucking that trend. Is that a realistic forecast or an optimistic one?
No, I think for 2012, what we're going to see at the level of the industry is a contraction in Europe. I don't think anybody is even hoping for the market in Europe, the car market in Europe, to go up. But from the other side, this decrease in the market in Europe is going to be compensated by growth everywhere else. United States is going to go up, Latin America is going to go up, China is going to be going to go up, Russia. So even Japan is going to go up. So yes, we have bad news coming from Europe, contraction in Europe, but it's going to be more than compensated by the growth, even moderate, taking place all over the world. So we're going to end up with a record year for the industry and obviously also a record year for Renault-Nissan.
So with the Eurozone's economy contracting, how safe are people's jobs in your company?
I think we have already anticipated a lot of the softening that will take place in Europe. When Lehman Brothers collapsed, we were all taken a little bit by surprise. That's why it was a little bit messy. Now there is no surprise. You know, for many months, we were seeing something happening. So we're ready. We have reduced inventory. We are postponing investment. We have been very cautious on hiring. I don't think you're going to see any announcement more than what has been done already about headcount reduction or social plans.
You turned Nissan's fortunes around in just 3 years. It's added to your superstar status. We've got a lot of business leaders here in the doldrums. Have you got any insights to share with them?
Our job is really to be extremely pragmatic, to be extremely lucid, not to come with preconceived ideas. You have to make sure that you are adapting the solution to the problem you're facing, and you're not trying to take, some pages from somebody else's book or even your own book because it doesn't apply for the new situation you're facing.
So what are the best moments and the worst moments of your working life?
I can tell you the first year we made the profit when we turned around Nissan was a great moment, because finally we had something happening after 10 years of struggle. Every time you open a new plant into a new territory or a new country, it's a great moment for you, because you're opening the border for your company. Next month, Renault is going to be opening a new plant in Morocco. That's a great moment. Nissan is announcing a new plant in Mexico. When we're going to open this plant, it's going to be a great moment. The most difficult moments are always the moment of uncertainty, where you have you excruciating choices to make, and you don't always see clearly what's going on.
One of the other good moments for Renault and Nissan are the electric vehicles. Now, you've got a fleet here for CEOs to test drive. A lot of people at the top have got a vested interest in the oil industry. How much traction is this clean energy having with them?
The traction is coming from the consumer. When we explain to the consumer what are the advantages of the zero-emission car, the advantage of the electric car, they are extremely excited. We sold more than 20,000 cars already on the calendar year 2011. We're going to more than double this volume in 2012. So it's gaining traction little by little.
Everyone leaves Davos with these Davos moments.
Yeah.
Do you have any key moments from this Davos that you'll be taking home with you?
The most, impressive thing in Davos is a lot of pessimism this year. Last year there was a lot of optimism, which end up not being totally justified, because the year 2011 has not been that great year that everybody was expecting. So maybe 2012 will end up being better than what most of the people here think it will be.
Carlos Ghosn, thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
Despite the gloom, there's a tentative feeling of optimism here. And in that spirit, we probed some of the movers and shakers in Davos to find out what made them smile.
Deals aren't only sealed in private. A lucrative agreement can just as easily be made over a mouth-watering canapé at one of the numerous events held in the exclusive mountain resort. Chelsea Clinton made a star guest appearance, moderating a highly anticipated e-philanthropy panel hosted by Ukrainian steel tycoon Viktor Pinchuk. In these somber times, it was a chance to hobnob with some of the people who are working to change the world.
With the shift in power from hierarchies like governments to citizens and networks of citizens, this can have a very positive benefit on society. So even though the world is increasingly chaotic and there is less control, I think that ultimately citizens can become stewards of their own well-being.
In the Middle East, I think everybody should make a point of trying to get to know somebody from a culture that they may be afraid of or that they may be disapprove of, to find out how they think. So I think that the long term, if you want the positive thing, is that people are starting to become more tolerant, accepting, they're more capable of actually living in peace.
And on that sunnier note, we'll end our programme. But remember, all our reports can be found online at euronews.net/Davos.